Good morning. Welcome to Monday morning. The 6th of June today, D-Day, the 6th of June, 1944. I often think of the coming of Christ at Christmas time as kind of a spiritual D-Day, invading enemy territory to take it back. And enough history. Today's Devo is entitled A Bird's Eye View of Faithfulness. He is the maker of heaven and earth, the sea, and everything in them. He remains faithful forever. That is Psalm 146, verse 6. Having lived in Nashville, or Nashville, as they say down there, for 40 years, I'm very familiar with Dr. Ming Wang, a world-class cataract and LASIK eye surgeon in our city. He has performed more than 55,000 procedures and published more than 100 papers. Among his patients, Dolly Parton, Charlie Daniels, Kenny Chesney, Naomi Judd, and Nicole Kidman. Dr. Wang grew up in China and moved to the United States in 1982. He attended Harvard and MIT, and he was an atheist. But the more he studied medicine, the human brain, and the human eye, the more his faith in atheism eroded. Over time, he became a Christian. Quote, "The more I learned about science," he wrote, "the more, not less, evidence I saw of God's creation and design. For example, as I was becoming an ophthalmologist and learning about the inner workings of the eye, the amazing and logical arrangement of the photoreceptors, ganglion cells, and neurons, I realized there was no way that an intricate structure such as the human eye could ever evolve from a random compilation of cells. The very complexity of the human eye is, in fact, the most powerful evidence for the existence of God." Unquote. It isn't just the human eye that displays the intricacies of a mind of infinite genius. The other day I watched a hummingbird drink hovering around my lantana bush. Its little wings were beating about 100 flutters a second, and its tiny heart was beating 1,200 times a minute. Hummingbirds can fly 30 miles an hour and visit 3,000 flowers in a single day. A hummingbird is better engineered than the Air Force's most advanced helicopter. The writer of Psalm 146 exclaimed, "Praise the Lord, my soul. I will praise the Lord all my life. He is the maker of heaven and earth, the sea, and everything in them. He remains faithful forever." And he quotes there from verses 1 and 2 as well as verse 6 of Psalm 146. He goes on in the psalm. His forever faithfulness reaches the oppressed and hungry and the prisoners, verse 7. It touches the blind and those who are bowed down, verse 8. It watches over the way of the foreigner, the fatherless, and the widow, verse 9. And also in verse 9, it frustrates the ways of the wicked. The maker of the human eye keeps his eye on you. The designer of the hummingbird's flight through the pathless air knows the way forward. And the maker of heaven and earth remains faithful to you forever. The closing quote comes from Christina Fox, who he lists as a homeschool mother and blogger. I think she's been quoted before. Just as the seasons unfold throughout the year, just as the sun rises each morning, just as a cherry tree blossoms in spring, we can trust in God's faithfulness. God's faithfulness in the created world around us is a constant reminder of his faithfulness toward his people. I have often thought that it takes more faith to not believe in creation, in a designer of the creation, than it does to believe in that. That's what this doctor discovered. The more he studied the intricacies of just the human eye, and I've heard this before, how many different things are going on in the eye that are just perfectly put together. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. The human body is a miraculous marvel put together by the Creator God of the universe. Everything holds together, intricately put together. How can we not believe in this faithful God who can do all of those things? How can we think for a moment He can't take care of us? Blessings to you today on this Monday. Keep your eyes on the Maker of heaven and earth and you.